I'm John Mesko, Executive Director of Potato Sustainability Alliance, and welcome to Board Member Orientation. In this first module, we're going to be looking at board structure and talk a little bit about how we're set up as an organization. So let's begin. Module number 1, PSA Board of Directors General Structure. There are some key documents that form the foundation of any organization, and one of those is the Articles of Incorporation. This establishes PSA as a standalone organization with an identity, location, and purpose. Our articles of incorporation are housed on the member portal of the PSA website, and I'll give you information how to access those later. But the articles of incorporation for PSA indicate that PSA is a Wisconsin corporation, and it has on there our original address, which is different from our current address, and that current address is listed here on the slide. Another key document that we use to define how we operate as an organization are the bylaws, and they are overall guiding principles for how we operate as an organization. For example, it talks about our mission, how we handle membership, who is a member, how do they become members, and so forth. We have an outline in there about our meetings, how they're conducted, when they're conducted, all of those sorts of things. There's some specific text in the bylaws about the board of directors, who can be on, how they are elected, who the officers are, how they're elected, and the role and function of the executive director. There's also a mention in the bylaws of committees, how they're structured and how they operate. And bylaws are different from policies. Bylaws define the high-level structure of PSA, such as the size and the makeup of the board of directors. Policies are really designed to standardize routine matters of business, such as how prospective directors are nominated and elected to the board, or how members can access and use the PSA logo. Bylaws are very broad in the way they're written. Policies are much more detailed in the way they're written. Bylaws are difficult to change, often requiring a majority of the board to, or a supermajority of the board to make the change. Policies can be changed as needed and can be changed by the board, or they can be changed by the leadership of the organization. And those changes are usually done so that it can reflect the current conditions in business, the current leadership, or the current needs of the organization. The PSA policies can be found in the PSA policy manual on the member portal of the PSA website. I mentioned earlier committees. PSA is really a very small organization, 2 full-time employees currently, as well as some support from contractors on an as-needed basis. Our collaborative mission requires us to accomplish more work than can be done with the available resources. We need our members to contribute to our work by serving on committees as well as working groups. We have a number of committees. One of them is the executive committee, made up of the officers, the chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. That group meets monthly to handle issues in between the regular board meetings, which are roughly quarterly. We have other committees, including the Nominations Committee, Finance Committee, Communications Advisory Committee, and the Membership Recruitment and Retention Committee. These are standing committees that operate throughout the year, dealing with the subjects listed. There may also be ad hoc committees that are developed to maybe address one specific purpose or research one specific problem that needs to be addressed, and those can come and go as needed. One of the things that's unique about nonprofits is that there is really an expectation, there are several expectations of all nonprofit board members. When serving on a nonprofit board, every member has a duty of care. That duty of care really means that each board member has a legal responsibility to actively participate in making decisions on behalf of the organization and to exercise his or her best judgment while doing so. Another important duty that all nonprofit board members have is a duty of loyalty. Each board member must put the interests of the organization before their personal and professional interests when acting on behalf of the organization in a decision-making capacity. What this really means is the organization's needs come first. And finally, there is the duty of obedience. Board members bear the legal responsibility of ensuring that the organization complies with applicable federal, state, and local laws and adheres to its mission. You can see there's a link at the bottom of the slide where there's more information available about these duties. From the PSA bylaws, there are specific expectations that PSA has for its board members. And in general, we have the expectations summed up here on this slide. All members of the Alliance are committed to making potato production more sustainable. These responsibilities include supporting the work and purpose of the Alliance, committing to support the work of the Alliance and its committees and subcommittees, including provision of expertise when appropriate, provide active leadership to the Alliance in the area that the member represents, communicate agreed positions of the Alliance to the organization or company the member represents, comply with the Alliance membership agreement, as well as all applicable rules and laws, including antitrust and confidentiality, and make appointments to or vote for the Alliance Board of Directors. This is the end of Module 1. You'll now be directed to a quiz that you can take in preparation for moving to Module 2.